good evening, and thank you for stopping by. It might not even be evening when you are watching this. It could be morning, it could be afternoon, it could even be tomorrow. It might be the next day, it could be 2 years from now. We are live on YouTube, and yeah, so I haven't really hosted my own show here in quite a while. Um, I have been concierge for other shows when they want to pop on and have something to say. I'm also a guest on other channels frequently, so that is of my interest. And I've been, yeah, just chilling. This year has been crazy. So much has happened worldwide, and especially here in California. We had the fires in January. We had all the crazy stuff going on with all the people pitted against each other, preventing our world from moving forward in so many different ways, or, helping advance it, depending on which morals you are at play with. So I'm not sure if my guest today will make it onto the show. We had some scheduling conflicts, and I'm also scheduled to appear on another show in just a few moments. But I thought I'd take a few just to open up the topic and the subject of transactional relationships. So we can talk about this again if anybody wants to comment or contact me. If you have views or opinions that you think are relevant in this conversation, I would love to hear from you. As you know, our show is open for guests, and we'd love to have you and hear what you have to say. So, um, with that being said, yeah, transactional relationships. So, I started a podcast, mid conversation podcast, people in random conversations over with Spotify. It, well, it wasn't Spotify then. It was called, oh gosh, I can't think of what it was called right now. Anchor Radio was where I started the journey, and they went on to Spotify. And then I couldn't figure out how to really use the platform because, as any of you really know, I'm not that technical. Um, yeah, so I landed here at StreamYard, and I'm very thankful. It's very easy to use. I also teach a class on how to use StreamYard and how to maximize your potential and host other shows and or put your show on other platforms. And it's like really cheap. It's like 25 bucks, gets you started. It's not one of those gimmicks or anything like that, where I don't actually go over anything. I just repeat myself. No, we go over what you can click, where you can click, show you how to get started with a few things. And, everyone I've taught has surpassed me for sure, in everything, and they're on their way. Lots of friends that have been using the platform to get their voice out there to the world. And shout out to YouTube for allowing us to continue to use the platform live, and we get really good feedback from YouTube and StreamYard, and that is so appreciated. I thank you. What other shout outs are on my news agenda for updates on this channel? Um, oh, we've got some tourism coming. We've got some community activist things coming. Added the sports playlist, Valley Sports. You can always connect with their channel and subscribe. This channel also hosts shows like Doe TV, Two Niggas Smoking Weed podcast, Young Explorers channel, And just a bunch of different random shows, music, artistry, community showcases, worldviews, and yeah, discussion, real conversation. No interrogations here. We just talk about whatever. Like, there's no real questioning. Nobody's on trial. Nobody's trying to pump you for specific information here. So, I hope that you all find this as a safe channel and continue to rock with us. What other names of podcasts do we have? We have the DEF podcast channel on here. We have the Vegas Variety Concierge, Coachella Valley Concierge. Speaking of Coachella, that festival is coming up. There will be barbecues, after parties, pool parties. So get with us for that information. Yeah, so transactional relationships. So yeah, I would like to have at least two more views on this subject to really have a really good kind of diverse debate maybe on the subject. So maybe that's how we're gonna play it today. And I don't see my guests in the waiting room. Like I said, I know we had some. Oh, actually, let's see. I think they just popped in, and we have a guest with us tonight from what I like to consider the East Coast, even though I think it's considered like the Midwest by some people. It's like Northern Territory. It's like Northeast. All I know is it's not right here on the West Coast. And you probably happy you not right here on the West Coast the way everything else been going down this week. But I'm bringing to the stage, or to your TV or your handheld somewhere, but definitely live on YouTube. King Eric, say what's up, King Eric.
What's good, baby? How you doing? How everybody doing out there?
Right, right. Like, I feel like there's like a lot going on, and people are just like all over the place with energy and with this like endless human stupidity going on out there. But
Oh
definitely there
God,
are
yeah.
some topics that are worth discussing. So yeah, so what's it like out there? What's the weather like? What's the haps? What's the little what's going on in your neck of the woods?
Weather's bipolar to say the least. We probably get about 5 different seasons in one week. It's right now. It's gonna be. It feel like spring, but then the next day it feels like winter, and then it warms up. Then we get a thunderstorm. Then it feels like summer. So then on top of that, we get tornado here and there on certain parts of our sector. So therefore, you can't really prepare for nothing out here in North Carolina. North Carolina is a we're in a very bipolar seasons, pretty much.
Man, and you guys just got hit with a storm not too long ago that you haven't even recovered from.
Yeah, not in my area, but see, North Carolina is very huge when people, very bigger than people think it is.
And what's the
So
but yeah, so what's the geological or geological, what's the geographical on North Carolina? Like how we do with like California, like we have the Bay, we have LA, we got the deserts, we got the beach. What is it kind of like out there? What's the sections?
we have a lot of small counties, and we also our main cities are like Raleigh, Durham, Charlotte, Greensboro. Those are like the four big cities when it comes to activity and socializing and stuff like that. But you got a lot of smaller counties, and that makes up like the country parts of it, so to speak.
Okay. Okay. So when they talk about the hurricane or the tornadoes that had hit out there, what
Yeah, it hit one of those
regions
small
of it
counties. It
got
hit
hit?
one of them very yeah, it hit one of them very small counties, or either the small counties or within the mountains.
Okay, but the power of it took out like that whole community.
Oh yeah, it took out like half of North Carolina.
Right.
We still got like
And
half of it. We were blessed to not. We just got in my side of the woods. We got like a lot of rain, a lot of wind. Like the flooding was crazy, but the
yeah, I
mountains they
remember you
got
saying like buildings were getting flooded through the front doors of the businesses and stuff.
yeah yeah because those parts of North Carolina they're not used to getting hit with hurricanes at all. So they were really caught
That
off guard this time around.
that man, we got hit with a hurricane out here in the desert in California. And it was like, what? Like it touched down like it was coming on a date or something, like coming to show up for a date. It came with force.
And see, the bad part about those places is it can accumulate to something like a dust storm or something because it's so hot.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So you can't really
Um,
prepare. Like, go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say I've noticed in the past, I don't know, in the past
Hello.
artist entertainment. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you was breaking
Did
up a
I,
little bit. I hear you now.
did I lose you? I was gonna say in the past year or so, I have noticed an incline on like artists and entertainment in your state, though. I don't know if it's in your region, but can you open our eyes a little bit on that? Like I've heard like a couple artists from there. It seems like there's some like live action going on with things going on out your way. What is that territory looking like?
Good question. It's more active, and believe it or not, if you come to the North Carolina, it's a very diverse scene. Like you have your backpack rapper scene because we also incline in the middle of the East Coast. Like we're between the dirty South and the East Coast of North Carolina. So you get the best of both worlds in a way. Like you get the trap music, you get the backpack music, you get the dance music, you get all
So
that,
it is
all those
considered
different
kind of
sections.
like a thoroughway. It's kind of like a travel thoroughway from the south to the east.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I've
Because if you
noticed
really come out,
a few people popping up in that area.
yeah, because if you really come out here, you'll probably hear more people listen to Philly rap than anything. Philly rap and New York rap, believe it or not.
Okay. Philly rap. And there's such it's so like that, is where so growing up hip hop, growing up rap, growing up music, entertainment out here on the Hollywood side, right? The California Hollywood entertainment side, right? The mecca of that.
Right.
And
Hey,
right,
hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. I'll take care of something. Give me 1 more minute.
okay. Well, good thing for him, I can still talk about what I was talking about without him needing to be present to get his opinion on what I'm talking about. Because I'm talking to y'all anyway. So, growing up in California and the Hollywood side of things, the entertainment side of things and the media, kind of where the media starts from. And then really watching how New York and the East Coast, you know, um, the communication. So, the East Coast thinks the West Coast is one way, the West Coast thinks the East Coast is one way. Our different trends, our music, our movies, they influence that kind of a thing. Um, and when it comes down to it, all of these things are influenced by commercialism and monetization, period. And so Oh, good. So you didn't really miss much. I was just kind of explaining to people the difference in the worlds, growing up in the entertainment side of things, media, California, Hollywood side of things,
Mhm.
and versus like the New York side of things where it's not so much like you learn different things, you see different things, the way the trends hit is different. The East Coast relies on the West Coast to know what's going on. The West Coast relies on the East Coast to know what's going on. Everybody in the middle kind of is like the vibe of both sides. And so when you come down to the way the world moves and the trends and how people act, because this comes down to our subject today, which is transactional relationships. And it goes back to everything has a rate of exchange. Um, and that rate as we've learned in the past few years, everybody learning how to trade, and we have all of these, we call them the finance bros and all that.
Yeah.
These, we finally have moved into a different part of the time in our century where wealth can be achieved. It's encouraged. It's always
Hmm.
been there, but we haven't had access to it, or only specific type of people had access to it. You had different, like I said, trends, things. So I know that this subject topic is a big topic, so we're going to break it down over the next few weeks.
Yeah.
And yeah, so but I do want to get to one of those things is, oh man, I get to talking and I lost my train of thought. But hold on. It was like I said, the rate of exchange, it changes. So again, what we learn with stocks and money and all those kind of things, learning forex, you learn that the rate of exchange is always constantly moving. So we as a human society have gotten to the point where we expect a rate of exchange for every transaction. We no
Hmm.
longer just kindly have smiles to give out. We no longer, bring the neighbor oranges and apples. We no longer take out the neighbor's trash or mow the neighbor's lawn or shovel the neighbor's snow. We no longer care about any of the children on the block. We just look at them when there's a problem. We don't ever help them to advance and feel
About
comfortable with the
yeah, well,
community,
yeah, to shoot
right?
off. Cause you was, but maybe well, actually, well, I want to introduce the people to why we talking about this.
Yes,
I shared
please.
a video clip of where this topic came from. It came from this podcast lady, and she wanted to know why is it that everything seems transactional? Everything seems like it's about a bag, and why is it is no real genuine love out there? Well, I'm glad you brought me on because I'm gonna shoot from the cuff, no pun intended. And if everybody wanted to peep off what we're saying, you can subscribe to this channel here. But first thing first, we gotta lay all the cards on the day. Number one is if you really look at it, it's always been transactional. It's just that now we're more introduced into a more formal event of exchange, a change of life and pace. Technology has evolved to where this is what we're exposed to right now. So it used to be a time where the internet, where we was to be like, okay, that's the internet crowd, and that's us, and that's that crowd. See, now the worlds are gelled in together, and now we're taking the internet, what people are saying on the internet, the gripes that people are using on the internet as real life now. Because now everybody has access to a phone, right?
Yeah. And and
Everybody has
and
access to a phone.
most people are living their lives via online somewhere, somehow.
And you know what? This is where it gets real tricky though, Flower, because check this. It used to be a time when people had microphones like these people. We used to have what we consider checks and balances. We used to know
Yeah.
who these people are. Are they qualified to really speak on these topics? Are you married? What is your relationship history? We don't know nothing about these people. I don't even know nothing about the woman that even did the video, but I just thought it was interesting because I
Yeah.
don't know nothing about her. But I thought the topic was interesting. So I shared it for a reason, but I don't know nothing about her. But see, now the people are following people who don't really have it together upstairs spiritually. They don't have it upstairs at home. They don't have it upstairs in their heart, but they have a platform. They have a voice.
Yeah.
That's the danger of giving
And
people platforms.
sometimes a larger reach and platform, because the way that the world sways to negativity than the real things and
Wow.
the real truth that's going on.
Because we don't know nothing about these people. And they're giving us their point perspective of how relationships could be. Oh, I go 50-50. Oh, he should bring this to the table. Oh, she should bring that to the table. but we don't know nothing about these motherfuckers and how they personally interact with people. So it's like
Right.
the blind
Right.
leading the blind. And now you have people that are already jaded in their situations as it is. Like they could be going through a breakup. They could be going through a spell where they're not really feeling their position in the dating pool. So they listen to these people and think they're going to get their bullet points from them. So now you're parrying their talking points. You know what I'm saying? You're parrying their talking points in your personal life. But you don't know how these motherfuckers are even living. They don't know they could be the biggest tricks. They could be living. They could be streaming from their basement. But
I
but they
mean, that's
have
what
amazing.
but that's what it comes down to, right? Is because in the beginning of entertainment, we showed you what we wanted to show you, and then it
Mm-hmm.
became people taking over, them showing you what they wanted to show you, and now everybody just shows whatever because it's all being monetized. And I think that that is something that people don't actually understand. So there is
Mm-hmm.
a whole genre of people out there that see the whole influencer or people talking
Right.
from their point of view, and they know they're getting paid. Like they get it, like, oh, you're getting paid, oh, they're just saying that because they're getting paid. But I don't think they actually understand how and what and why the paid is there. Like I don't think they understand that once that video goes and there's comments and it goes and it goes and it goes and it has likes and it has views and it's
Mm-hmm.
generating actual money. So a lot of the things that you're seeing today are only and strictly only for entertainment monetary purposes. And I think that, you know, sad to say, but we need those kind of labels back again, like they fought for back in the day. And we were so against sensory, what's it called, back in the day. We were so against that whole like explicit, being labeled, but it's so needed as false news. Like it's false news. It's not accredited news.
It's more so because, see, think about this. When people made public statements, we knew about them. Like, let's say, for example, you have an actor. Let's say you have somebody like Denzel Washington. He make a political statement about the industry. We know for sure Denzel knows what he's talking about because he's been in those doors. We know from the movies he played in, from the
Yeah.
accolade, he earned his way up to really speak on these topics. The problem is now you could have somebody from Pissant, Nebraska. No disrespect to Nebraska. I love that city. But no disrespect to Nebraska. But they could have a bigger voice than us just by
Right.
having a platform. And they get to be the troll decider of what determines, of what moves. That's the scary
Right.
part about it. And that's where you start giving birth to all these sleeper cell movements that you have going on. You know, I ain't gonna name no names because you know out of respect to the show, but we know who these people are, and therefore they have their big voices. So now
Yeah.
we're calling a situation where a broken clock is right twice a day. Cause you know they're gonna say something that you agree on. That's the ideal of the grift.
Shit, a broken clock is actually right. Yeah, twice a day plus tomorrow, because there are places that are already tomorrow and it's already broken. So
But see,
yeah.
think about this. See, think about this. See, this is how they hit you though. See, they're gonna hit you on some topics like, let's say, for example, with relationship, they're gonna probably point on one or two things that you agree with, and then not paying attention to the 95% of the bullshit, but that 5% of what they say is gonna rationalize with you. So you're going to subscribe to them and see what they're all about. They know how to mix bullshit, um, truths with lies, and build an audience off of there. That's why it's hard for people to let them go because it's like, okay, he said so and so about relationships. He's right, but he's a piece of shit though. But but he right
Right.
about this
And
one.
and that's what this. So I'm glad you brought that up, because there's a very controversial set of brothers right now that everybody is speaking so negatively about. And the reason that I feel they're speaking so negatively about them, because again, they haven't been to me, I'm sorry, but it is what it is. But like, it's because their views are different than the majority of the world, and nobody wants to hear the fucking truth. Like, all these hurt ass people out there, coward people, don't want to hear the truth. And the truth is right in front of you. And you don't have to like it for it to be correct. Hell, you don't have to like it for it to be wrong, or disagree with it for it to be wrong. But
Yeah, 'cause
it,
what it
it
is,
is what it is.
yeah, 'cause what it is, we live at a time where people don't want to hear the truth. They want to hear what they believe is the truth.
What do you feel about the Tate brothers?
I don't listen to that shit, but I see how
But
they
no,
got an audience.
have you ever come across, like, I don't know about what is actually going on. Like, I'm not as involved in like what is going on in the controversy here, but them
Yeah,
themselves, like, have
I
you
know of
ever
you though.
came across one of their podcasts or one of
Oh
their
yeah,
speeches where they're literally breaking it down of why a male sees a
absolutely,
woman the way that they see them, like, and they're being honest.
absolutely, absolutely. I've listened to them. That's why I'm able to speak. Cause see, one
Right.
thing for sure is you got to know who you're speaking about before you speak at them. That's why.
That's how I feel for sure. Yeah. People just
Yeah,
be
before.
making up whatever
Yeah.
based upon something they hear once or backwards or
Now,
forwards. And it's like,
it's my thing. My philosophy is this though. It's like, does he tell the truth about certain things? Yes, he does. But see, the problem is with people is that they take on their personas. See, what I learned is with life is not everybody is perfect. I learned to take the truth for what it is. Everybody tells the truth once upon a time in their life and put it
yeah,
in that space to where, okay, he's telling the truth on that end. I'm gonna soak up what he's saying and go further and implement what I'm doing. I'm not gonna take on his persona. I'm not gonna take on
right.
this person's um livelihood. I'm not gonna live like that person. But there's truth amongst everybody. Even the president tells the truth sometimes. So we gotta go ahead and take the truth and make it better for you. You don't take on these people persona. Why you want to live like another man for, or live
I
another
think
man
that's a
personality?
lot. I think that's a lot about what it is people's actual own identity. So it's not these hackers and stuff that are stealing people's identities. People are literally losing their own identity into the comparison of what they see to mimic in the world.
You see, let me tell you something. Nobody's immune to it. Believe it or not, nobody's immune to it. In some way, shape, or form, it psychologically affects you. I admit it even happened to me. It happens to everybody. It happened to me once upon a time. I ain't afraid to admit it. Like you just like, for example, I could take a picture with my car, right? Yeah, I done got my car fixed. I done got the shit paid off. Man, I done watched that motherfucker. Yeah, I'm about to show this thing off. Take me a little picture. Got about 20 likes and everything. Okay. Then you see your friend. Your friend got a Maserati
Right.
2025, and he got a Porsche right next to him, and he's sitting there like, which one should I drive today? Then that motherfucker get about 500 likes and shit. You like, damn.
Yeah.
That kind of, and see, it's stuff like that. Everybody, but you got to be
It is.
comfortable in your own skin. You got to be comfortable in your own skin at the end of the day because you don't know what
And
type of
how do
lives
you
these
do
people
that?
living.
And how does the average person out there learn how to use those coping skills to be able to do that when those kind of pressures are
Good
out there?
question.
Like, I kind of get it. Like, I do get
Good
it.
question. Good question because one thing I learned about life is people always talk about the problem, but they don't know how to talk about the solution. See, because the solution,
Damn. That's why I fucks with you, East Coast. That's
that's
why I
right.
fucks with
That's
you, because that's the whole. That's part of my pet peeve in everything that I, do is that you're right. Once the
well,
like the problem, so the problem, I hear the problem. The problem does not
yeah,
need to continue
yeah.
to be discussed. It doesn't need to be discussed whose fault the problem is. It
I'm
doesn't
gonna
need to
tell
be
you why.
discussed
I'm gonna tell you
how the
why.
problem came about. None of that. Let's just get to the solutions. What are the solutions to get past the problem?
But
Woo.
see, I'm gonna tell you why they don't want to talk about the solution. Because the solution, they have to take
Means
a
they
look
got
at
to do
themselves in the
something
mirror.
about it. Then they can't complain about the problem. It's not an
No,
excuse.
because think about it. In life, when you, it's easy to diagnose a problem. People make money diagnosing problems. That's how doctors become millionaires. They always make
Well,
money diagnosing problems.
I
But
will say that people who have people like who have common sense and
mhm,
who are established, they can easily depict a problem. But I will say that in today's current society, majority society, the part of the problem is they do not identify what the actual problem is. You hear them go all the way around about what the
oh,
problem
yeah,
isn't. Like they'll
no,
focus on one just menial thing that has nothing to do with the actual problem, just to have something that they are correct about.
you know
That
what
has
it
nothing
is?
to do with the problem or the solution.
You know what it is? It's going to force you to look yourself in the mirror and make changes, uncomfortable changes. That's what a lot of people don't want to face. They don't want to face the possible reality that they're the problem. Like, you know, somebody, let's say, for example, they say they're complaining about the dating pool. And you ask that person, how many women have you approached? You could probably count off your fingertips how many they approached. Well, I only approached like 3 women. And I'm like, when the last time you approached 3 women? 5 months ago. You're not applying yourself, buddy.
Right. But
The, the,
let's go there because today's you're right. Have you walked up to 3 women that you thought were beautiful in the world and introduced yourself?
yes.
Is much different than did you DM or comment under 3 bitches pictures or like their pictures
Right.
that they had their tits out or their ass out while they're trying to, hook men into getting them lunches and paying for cars.
Right. See, it's a different
So,
formula right there. See,
right,
people don't put the work in for that matter. And putting the work in meaning you might have to, I personally don't do the dating sites, but hey, if you want to put yourself out there, you gotta put yourself out there to be heard. It's like, looking on the job application. It's like filing for a job. You can't just sit there and just sit at home, be like, well, I hope this job knock on the door. Nah, you gotta go out there and make it happen. You gotta be annoying if you have to. That's the way of trial and learn. That's solution. And see, it makes people uncomfortable. They can't stomach being rejected. They can't stomach getting turned down. They can't stomach getting flaked on. But hey, that's a part of the process. Pain creates diamonds. And that's just not on David, but that's just anything in life. You know what I'm
okay.
saying?
So still speaking about dating, so because I know that
Go
this
ahead.
was a couple years ago, a topic came up and it was a big thing, and I still haven't even addressed. I still want a
Okay.
face to face rebuttal on that topic, in that camp, but whole nother thing. But when we talk about rate of exchange again, when we talk about transactional relationships,
Yeah.
and we talk about really putting, like there are we in a case in society where it is really that transactional to where a normal meeting of two souls cannot actually connect because we're so mismatched and unappropriated
Yeah.
in conduct that like you know what I'm saying, like you could go approach 10 women today, you could
Mm-hmm.
stay at the coffee shop today and you could
Mm-hmm.
approach 10 different women, and all 10 of them are going to hit you with a transactional approach. And
Right.
so your hit or miss is not any longer like, oh, I talked to 3 women and this woman called me back. They're all calling, all 10 women are calling you back. They're all
Mm-hmm.
calling you back to find out what or how you can fit into their financial window, unfortunately. Because the
Yeah.
only woman that wouldn't call you back is the one that never bothers getting your number or her number because she's not looking to just meet somebody randomly that wants to contractually with her
Yeah, that's you know
somehow.
what
It doesn't matter.
to build on that, I'm gonna tell you this.
I mean,
It's about
obviously, this subject is we're gonna have to do a few more shows, and I do want to get a few
oh
more
yeah.
people's
Oh yeah,
opinions.
it's all good.
But this is kind of we're just basing and building this for you guys out there. I would like
Yeah,
for any of the people out there to have any commentary to please feel free to comment, subscribe to the channel, um, and let us know your views about some of these subjects.
absolutely. Now, I want to answer a part of that right there because
Yeah.
it just resonated on me. It's about what you seek. See, you remember? I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, but I posted a video of Amber Rose when she said, "If you want girls like us, you got to spend money." Now, you can't get mad. That's what a lot of these guys be looking for. But see, what they want to do is they want to use it for trophy purposes. They want to use it for bragging rights, for a prop up, so to speak. But see,
Okay. But
go
doesn't
ahead.
it lose its effect when you have okay, so back in the day when two are back in the day when you would back in the day when you would be working with a producer at the studio and these
Hmm.
three other artists drop in and y'all just ended up on the record together, or you ended up vibing, or y'all ended up with a natural organic, like, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot different than, oh, I can pay you for a feature now. I can just
It's
pay for a
different now.
feature. I
It's
could just
different
pay
now
for you to
because
be in my video. I could just pay for you to do whatever. So it takes away from all of that to me. All of that.
wow, check this out. Who are most of the type of women that's making it transactional? Now it's been always been transactional, but who has
Beautiful
always been
women.
that
Beautiful women.
look at their occupations, their video
All these,
vixen, their
they're just
IG
beautiful
baddie.
women. Like, they don't have no occupations. They're all just
Right,
pretty women. Like, they're all just the same looking pretty women. Like, that's it. They
right.
smile.
Now me
They show their
personally,
tits. They show their
right,
body. It's all thirst traps. Every single part. All these
right.
gym girls, all these bikini
Yes,
girls, all these models, all of
yes,
these girls. It doesn't even matter how classy they look with it. It's all the
yes,
same, pushing the same agenda to all of our
exactly,
young girls out there that nothing else but your
exactly.
body is fucking beautiful
Yeah,
at
those
all.
are because that's why I didn't want to paint all women into one brush because that's that
And
type
it
of
makes
women. They
the
belong
beautiful
to the
mind be a turtle and want to stay in their shell even more because why? Like,
no, no, no.
nobody
What it is? No, no,
appreciates
no. What it is?
brains. Nobody wants the smart girl who knows how to figure things out. They only want the body.
Now, let me tell you this. Me being involved with the business for about 10, 12 years, pretty much, I don't want nothing to do with these type of women at all because they not only batshit crazy, but they got a lot going on and it's not good. Their hygiene is bad. They they attitudes is bad. They can't cook. They don't know anything about cooperation. Cooperation is the sexiest thing to me. If you can
Woo, ain't it
cooperate,
though?
cooperation is the sexiest thing that a woman can offer because it brings a peace of mind and it brings respect. All that pain to play, I don't do that. We don't do transactional. It's a degree of transactional. Transactional, it used to be like you taking somebody out on a date. It's transactional. But what these women are saying is basically quote unquote prostitution. But you also look at the type of women they are, what industry they belong. They've been rotated by the same rappers.
It's completely prostitution.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. Like, and but we could take that, everybody gets mad at me when I take that a step further and say that every transaction is that, and when you come to men and women, because ultimately if it's not an actual marriage, which is just a down payment on the pussy for life anyway,
Right.
then it's everything. Then it's everything. It's not. So if it's not that, then it's that. Like there's no real in between, and it doesn't matter how you do it, why you do it, what you do it. If there is any kind of transactional exchange, that's literally what it is, and it's nothing to be like taboo about, because life is that. Men go through it too, even going to get a paycheck from your job. You don't like your job, you don't like your boss, but you go and check in every day and clock in. You wear the costume they give you. You know, smile and fucking do whatever you got to do your dance at work to be able to get the paycheck to come home. Everybody does that. That's what we've been trained to do for money, right? Like a circus.
Life is transactional, you know. But
Yeah.
we've been hearing it more for the past several years because number one, people are, you. I don't know if you seen this movie. You seen the movie Set It Off, right?
Yes. Yes.
You remember the scene with Jada Pinkett was like, "I'm in a bind, Nate."
Yeah, where she got to get that money to pay for that rent in college and whatever else she need to pay for. Yeah.
That's
And
what a
here's a
lot of
dude,
these
and
women
here's
are
a
on.
dude that here's a dude that got the money, a dude that wanna already fuck with me, and like I ain't doing that anyway, so I might as well do him and get that business handled like that. I get it.
A lot of
Trust
these
me, I
women are
get
in a
it.
bind, Nate.
But when you make it a business, like, okay, years ago, when all of the girls became exotic dancers and they was doing like the first out call services and stuff like that, it was considered exotic dance. And if you didn't have your exotic dance license, you got hit. You got hit with cases, you got hit with bullshit, you got hit with shit, right? Follow
Right.
me here. For people who are fucking listening, it all comes right back around to the pussy every time. I don't care what kind of
It all does.
economics or a bonnet hood, whatever you got going on, it come right back around to this motherfucker. So it is what it is. And I did just lose my train of thought. God damn, see? But no. So yeah, so if you didn't have your exotic dance license, if you wasn't claiming your taxes on the money you was making, it was considered illegal money, right? Like it goes
All
right
right.
back around to the other shit. Like it don't matter what you do. You could go be a hoe. You could be a prostitute, but you got to go pay your taxes on that. Like that's how America kind of works. So if
Right.
you don't, you gonna have problems that turn into other problems that turn into other problems that turn into other problems for other people and other things in all types of directions, because you got this one hoe over here with the bullshit. You got this one hoe over here who walking up to niggas talking about, oh well, I charge for that. Oh, I'm gonna need this paid for. I'm gonna need that. It's all in exchange. So yes, you are legally, illegally prostituting when you exchange your time or your body for goods and services and cash.
Absolutely, because I'm thinking what's going on too is we also had to know a person before getting involved with them. We had to
Bingo.
really know what they was all about. We had to really know what they was into. We had to know where they was at spiritually, physically, spiritually, physically, all that stuff. We
And
living at a time where people,
at some
yeah, we
point
living at,
it
yeah,
became a
people don't,
monopoly where it was a war, and I'll put it out there, and this is from all over the globe. This is like not even just our country, but every country globally. If you follow what kings and queens were and how they made their moves and chess pieces on the board, women have
Mhm.
always been a commodity. So knocking down every bitch from this neighborhood and knocking down every bitch from that neighborhood, knocking every bitch from your neighborhood, knocking your baby mama, your cousin baby mama, knocking the enemy's hoe. Because these bitches have weak minds and they play these little, you know what I'm saying? Hee ha ha ha, this dude, like whatever. Like they don't even understand they're being used for warfare and being placed as pawns on the board for bigger. I mean, it's like crazy.
And
And
see,
then in the meantime, these are the same women that are demanding that people paying for their time and their money. Like, I get it, but like, go do something else. Like, move around. And
Well,
if that's
what
the
it
case,
is?
and if that's the case, if men are really, because I've been seeing it for the past, I don't know, like at least 6, 7 years, men are out there really funding all of these broads to do nothing in fucking life but just be pretty.
That's what I
Man,
was
if
going
y'all
to tell
don't
you.
fund some education or broads that really want to get some businesses off the ground and all that kind of shit, man, miss me with that shit. Spending money on airfare and bottles and dumbass shit is your write
Yeah,
off.
that's
I
it.
get it, but write some
Yeah,
better shit off. Like, teach our people fucking better. This shit is dumb as fuck.
yeah, that's what it happened. It's like, and I have to put this on the males on this part here, and a lot of it goes on the male because what in doing that, you're enabling bad behavior. You're enabling out of pocket behavior. So when the next man, when he gets with a lady, you're dealing with the sins of what the last person did. You're dealing with
Yeah.
his mistake. So what's going on now is instead of women feeling the need to correct themselves to be better women, they like, okay, I could get somebody with more money. I could get somebody with more status. I don't need you. He gonna do this for me. And they usually do it because all these guys, they have one type of intention. But in the same time, the cycle keeps going. You rewarded her for bad behavior. When you enable people for bad behavior and reward them for bad behavior, they become monsters.
Yes.
And that's what's really going on too. Because back then, the women, they if they really love somebody, they would pretty much keep themselves in line. They'll apologize to the man themselves if they was out of line. But see, now we live in a society where now people feel as though, oh, I could just go and get somebody better. Ain't nothing. He's just a click away. He's on a date nap away. It's nothing. Oh, I could just get on the gram, get 1,000 of these dudes in my DM. See, social media gave people the false equivalency of options.
Yeah.
It's it's false equivalency of options. Those are not really options. But
But
see,
they become
we're
reality.
married. Exactly. See, that's what I was going to say. We're married in now where we don't know what's reality and what's fiction. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's the
They
conversation
blur the
sometimes that
line.
I bring up with y'all sometimes when I'm like, hold up, this is this is not what's real going on this side over here. This is what's real going on this side over here. And I think that that's a big thing, like I said about real communication sometimes. There has to be a fine line of what is like our world is slipping fast into that. Like, so it's kind of like, who do you believe in? Like Pac said, like, who you gonna believe in when you can't believe anything about anything anywhere? Like, do you know anybody you could really? I mean, not you, but like I'm talking to the world out here. Do you know anybody on ground floor somewhere else that really knows anything about what's going on around them? Like, people do act like they the king of the city, or they doing this or they doing that, but do they go to like city council meetings? Are they in with the fire department? Are they in with like the city planning department? Like, do they really know what's going on around them? Do they understand the county that they're in? Do they understand the boundaries and the borders and the country that they live in? Do they understand any ops that we have from other countries or other planets or other atmospheres? Like, people really take for granted, right, that right in front of you. And I
Right.
get it, right? We are only here. We've been shown we're only here. We only have so much time. We've lost so many people along the way where we are at in the timeline. We've always been told one thing has stayed true: having the most money or having money gets you places that no money gets you. Nobody cares anymore. There is no like, there's been like dehumanization or whatever that's called. Like, nobody cares anymore how they get to the money, just as long as they get to this thing called money. And
Right.
that I still believe, because I still believe in, like you said, the balance in the world, right? I still
Right.
believe the checks and balances. And I still believe that, like, I don't know, like, we were supposed to find a better way. And we've been told that, we've been shown that, you know, I just I just think it's like a really sad era when we got children ages 2 to high school that see naked women running around as, and again, like, naked women at the pool, naked women because you're in an actual costume at an actual concert because you're performing, not because you're just who you are out on a Saturday. Like, I don't know. Like, I just think that there's something wrong with that. I think that there's just a different approach. I mean, because you've got kids out there 6 and 7 years old with body issues. You got
Yeah,
them with worrying if they're gonna be able to, look at little mama, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, beautiful young girls, and they're exploiting themselves. Like, nobody even needs to exploit them anymore. They're all
see,
exploiting themselves, and they don't even know that that's what that is.
and see another thing too is I know you see the government, they trying to regulate people from using social media and stuff, but the genie's already out the bottle. Like y'all about 10 years too late.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Y'all could do all these documentaries, you could do all these discussions and
yeah.
debates. It don't matter now. The genie's already out the bottle. So you can't enforce it because the world already gone convoluted. Y'all push the narrative of needing technology like food and water, and look what you did. And it's on us, like I said, solution based. It's on us to monitor, if you got kids or whatever, to monitor their usage the best way possible.
Yeah, I just feel like nobody truly understands the difference between positive and negative, and that balance that we have to keep in order for the world to keep spinning correctly within the universe that's spinning, within the atmosphere that's spinning, within the, like, if we allow whatever this negativity and evil is to overcome the correct thoughts that we know we have. Like, that's what I mean about common sense too. I mean, common sense is no longer common. Like, I
Nah, because
really think
no,
that,
they
yeah, but
because think
these
about
new
this.
kids and these new babies though, they be knowing different stuff. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, they know a whole bunch of shit we don't fucking even know. They can
Nah,
talk
'cause what
to,
it is
think
too is
think about the AI that's talking and reading the baby's
nah,
brain
what it is. You get to be
as they're
monitored.
watching TV and as they're talking and everything. The fuck?
Yeah, you could get monetized for being stupid now. Just like half of a lot of these people that have platforms. Think about it. When they get on but stages, they get chewed up bad because
Yeah.
it's different from your box versus when you go out and interact in the real world. When you're going out there interacting with the real world and you're talking internet language, you're gonna look Chinese to these people.
Well, everybody
So
likes to do business with the Asians and pay them. So, mm,
but
I'm
but
just
this is a
saying,
very
yeah,
it's
we've
definitely yeah, this
we've
is definitely a very
we've definitely
diverse
got to
topic.
continue. Yes, and I want to continue this. I want to continue this. So we're gonna check in with you again. We appreciate the time that y'all have taken out of your lives to be able
Definitely.
to listen to this live or on the replay. Don't forget to check out the live shows weekly on King Eric's channel. And yeah, you need to just connect with us and stay within the conversation, stay within the loop. And I don't discourage anybody from at least getting these conversations going. Get these conversations going. At
Damn
least
it, jump
get
in the
them
ring.
going. Jump in the ring.
Son,
Don't fight. Just find
I gotta
solutions.
talk I gotta talk my issue a little bit. I'm like, y'all, a lot of y'all be too scared, man. Jump in the ring, yo.
Yeah.
Speak your mind, right or
Yeah,
wrong. If
you
you
might as
that's how
well.
you
I mean,
feel.
everybody else doing all types of stuff. I mean, if you got something halfway intelligent to say, hey, please speak up.
Exactly.
Cause like these
Exactly.
motherfuckers out here is ooh,
Shit, at least you can
wow.
get monetized off of it.
So then we can teach you how to do that too. We run a
Because
class. It's gonna start here in the middle of April. And it's a really cheap class. It's like $25, y'all. Like it's not the kind where you gotta keep doing like the rest of these people and the whole they don't tell you that. No, like $25, we're gonna teach you how to get rough, how to get raw, how to get right in there, get you some followers, get you some shows under your belt, learn how to record here on StreamYard, go live on YouTube, connect your other, like, we got you. Okay. And this is the East and West Coast people who are honest, who give it to you, both sides, from all sides, reality. And that's just all there is to it. This
absolutely.
is Miss Flower checking in for the West Coast.
And this is King Eric checking in live from the East Coast. Big shout out to all the listeners that's tuned in, listening to us and chopping up all these important topics and important dialogue. So yes, I'm about to sign up out of here. I got to take care of some other business. Thank you, Flower, for inviting me on your platform. It's always a pleasure for you to give me a king's chair to sit down. I just need some a basket of fruit next time.
Oh, yeah, I'm working on we working on the round table for sure.
I need that basket of fruit
We'll
right
have to
now.
get us a basket of fruit sponsors. I like that. I like that. I like that. But oh, we gonna do better. A cornucopia, so they can't call the what's it called, the whatchamacall effect, Mandela effect.
Yeah,
We gonna give you a real cornucopia. Yeah. Once the
yeah.
show gets
You know,
good
yeah,
sponsoring.
send me
Yep.
that basket, and then you'll see me eating
Got
while I'm
you.
talking to y'all.
Got you. Oh, I like it. I like it. You really drawn a good picture. Okay. All right, y'all. We out.
All right,
Talk to
have a
you
good night.
soon. Good night. Y'all, thanks for joining in. See you next time. Hope you have a good night out there. Don't forget to drink water. And happy birthday to anybody who's celebrating a birthday this month. You can catch us here different times of the day, different days of the week. It's always something new going on around here. And shout out to one of my sponsors, girlmondayglamorous.com, where you can find relaxing therapy candles and different variety of merchandise. Have a good night.